With pickup trucks becoming a bit crazy expensive these days because of the excise tax, MG has a new back-to-basics workhorse pickup truck that is worthy of your consideration. Welcome to the garage on Ride By. For our preview, today we have the MG TRQ or TRQ. So obviously it's a play on torque. And this mid-size pickup truck is MG's first entry into the very competitive and I would say lucrative pickup truck segment. It is a mid-size pickup truck, and so it has a length of 5,365 millimeters, 1,960 millimeters wide, and it is 1,857 millimeters tall. It has a wheelbase of 3,155 millimeters, and the bed is almost a square, measuring 1,485 millimeters long, 1,510 millimeters wide, and 530 millimeters tall. So MG is positioning this as a workhorse pickup truck, so it is only available in 4x2 configuration. Nonetheless, it has a useful ground clearance of 215 millimeters and payload capacity is 1,055 kilograms. So kung pangkarga ang kailangan mo, it does the job. So under the hood, it has a 2-liter single turbocharged diesel engine. It makes about 158 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque. And if you can see here, it's a nice and neat looking engine bay, looks easy to service, and the turbocharger is, as you can see here, it's stamped there by Garrett, one of the most prolific turbo suppliers in the world. So naturally, you are building a truck at a price point here, so there are no expensive struts here. You just get this simple strut bar, but nonetheless, not a problem there. Aesthetically, what do you expect from a pickup truck? It looks like a pickup truck. It's what you expect from a pickup truck. Maybe the key defining feature here is this very Chinese looking grille. It's plastic. This big MG emblem over here, and this plastic grill here, I call it the Bane grill because I was not born in the darkness, I was made by it. So, but you can't blame them. They're trying to go for a strong and massive look, and at least it's not chrome. These are blanks here that can be filled up with your auxiliary lamps or fog lights. These clear lens headlamps are halogen. They're not LEDs. Moving here to the side, you have 16-inch GTs all-terrain tires. And then you've got this black body cladding here na clearly molded plastic. You've got useful step boards, black door handles para hindi naman siya monotonous. Then, by the way, I love this design of these alloy wheels. They're blacked out, so it's not so obvious when they're dirty. This sport bar is standard, comes with the truck. If you check out the bed, so it's not that, it's just your basic tailgate. However, you get a backup camera. So, standard bed here with a standard bed liner already. It comes with the truck. You've got a couple of tie-down points here. It's not damped. And getting up is a bit of a challenge. Although because of the design, the bumper here, get this cut out here for the reflector, you could use it as a sort of a step. Just make sure that your foot doesn't catch when you climb inside. So overall, it's useful. No surprises here. It's not as versatile as the much more expensive Ford Ranger Wildtrak. But then again, you get what you pay for. So now let's check out the interior. Moving on to the interior of the MG TRQ, the cockpit, you can see that, of course, it's meant to be durable and easy to clean, low maintenance. You got a lot of hard plastic here in the door panels. This leatherette, this black leatherette, has some sporty red contrast stitching, which extends to these panels here on the center console. You got a push button engine start. And a handsome shifter here that looks like it was lifted from the ZS or one of their SUVs. You've got two USB-C charger ports here for the, and this can also connect to your wired Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Of course, you don't get a wireless charging pad for this one. And if you look here at the instrument cluster, it's analog. Traditional analog, which is handsome. I like analog. And then you got a basic information display here for trip information. You cycle through it with this button here on the right stalk. And it's not a fancy TFT display, it's just monochrome. But you did get a infotainment screen here, the touch screen is about 10 inches, and you get basic connectivity here, so you get Bluetooth for your phone, some basic settings for your CarPlay, for your sounds, nothing much there. This panel here, this haptic panel here, is typical MG. They're a bit allergic to dials and buttons, so this haptic panel here is for your climate control. And it's a bit tricky. There's a bit of a learning curve here. When you press, say, the blower, a little screen here will pop up to show you your settings for your blower, for your temperature. It's a single zone manual control, so you cannot set a specific temperature. Huhulaan mo na lang. So it's okay, it's workable. And then for the stereo, you don't get a dial for your volume. So all the only volume control you have is here on the steering wheel on the right spoke. And then here, on the left, you get cruise control. It's just basic cruise control. Notably, your wipers, for those who are spoiled with automatic everything, you are back to manual. You don't get automatic wipers, you don't get rain sensing wipers, you don't get automatic headlamps. So when it turns dark, you have to remember to turn on your headlamps. And remember that all of these things, these omissions, help keep the price down. What's important are the mechanicals. The shifter controls an 8-speed automatic. Yes, I said 8-speed. And this 8-speed automatic has a manual gate. You can manually select your gears all the way from 1 through 8. You also get an electronically locking differential. This will give you added traction despite only being rear-wheel drive. So you got eco mode, you got power mode, you can turn off the traction control if you like. And there's even a hill hold. You got two USB-C ports here, cigarette lighter socket, two small cup holders here that unfortunately cannot hold a flask, an oversized flask. So if you're carrying something like this, it can fit in the door pocket over here. Your mirror adjustments are here in the left door panel, and that's it. Oh, you can still adjust the angle of your headlamp beams. You can raise it or lower it depending on your load. Note here that there's this little strip here on the right that I don't know why they did that. It kind of looks parang tinapalan siya, but okay, fine. And remember that this is a work truck, so some creature comfort, some essentials for women have been omitted. My wife complained last night that there is no vanity mirror. And if you'll notice here, there's no grab handle. So for smaller people, climbing in may be a bit of a challenge. You'll have to figure it out. There's no grab handle here on the left side either. All right, now let's check out the back. Thank God. Grab handles for the back. And then let's check out the seats. Can we fold them down? Okay. There's this pull tab here. Fold it down. Okay, you can fold down the seat back if you need a flatter space behind you. Grab handle. Okay. Decent legroom at the back. The seat bottom is a bit low, so your knees are a bit up. I'm 5'8". If for taller people, it will be might feel like a bit they're squatting, so it might not be that comfortable for longer rides. Although at 5'8", you got decent headroom here, lots of leg room. You got the usual door pockets, two AC vents, but there's a little pocket here for a phone. I guess, but no additional charging ports. Got two small cup holders here, and that's it. Oh, the speaker pocket. The speakers are placed over here at the rear door panels, and you only get two speakers for the audio. All right. So with that said, let's take this truck for a drive. Okay, strapping into the torque. The seat belt has adjustable anchors, so I try. Then steering column is tilt adjustable, but it's not telescopic. So for this one, I have to set it at mid-range so that the top of the rim does not block my view of the speedometer. And power adjustable driver's seat. Nice feature, nice detail there. So I see what MG did here. They skipped some minor features so you could get some better, more essential goodies like this power adjustable seat. No vanity mirror. Who need that? But this power adjustable seat gets you get your micro adjustment just right. So once you're dialed in, you get a pretty decent driving position here, similar to an SUV, and you can lower it if you don't like that feeling like you're riding on stilts. Okay, so shifter. Let's get going. Hey there! Before we continue, did you know that we also have an online store? It is www.rideby.ph. Everything you need for your car and or your motorcycle. We've got detailing products, maintenance parts, gear, and many more. Do check it out and get 10% off your first purchase. Now, back to regular programming. So, gonna move on with the MG torque. Right away, first impressions are pretty good. Fit and finish on this 562 kilometer unit is quite good. No rattles so far, and although of course it's a leaf spring suspension at the back and double wishbones at the front, the ride is stiff. It's not jarring, but little ripples in the road and bigger bumps. You will feel that the suspension is very tautly sprung, because remember that it is rated to carry 1 ton or a little over 1 ton, so the ride has to be necessarily stiff to be able to support that much weight. Having said that, it has nice attributes like light steering. It's a hydraulic unit. It's not ponderous like some of the other trucks there in the market, and the brakes have a positive engagement, so it's easy to modulate. With the single turbo here, there's a bit of a turbo lag that you need to get used to, like with the GWM Cannon that we reviewed earlier. What happens is that around below 1,500, the turbo hasn't spun up yet, so it's just enough to get you moving. But for quick acceleration, you need to floor it, and then when the turbo kicks in, there's a bit of a jolt. So we'll try that here on this short uphill. So here from almost idle, I'm just gonna floor it. And then, wow, wow, it has some teeth. But you have to be prepared for when it kicks in, because once it accelerates, now it's going to be a bit of a challenge to suddenly slow it down. Let's say suddenly a pedestrian crosses your path. Now you need to jam on the brakes right away. So we have to be prepared for that kick of that turbo. Remember, it's not as smooth as a dual scroll or as a bi-turbo setup, where it uses 2 smaller turbos for a smoother acceleration. With a single turbo, it necessarily has to be bigger, but then when that kicks in, it takes a bit of maybe a second for it to slow down. And then, I'm actually right now in eco mode. So, what happens if I put it in power mode? Okay, so in power mode, without even engaging the manual override yet for the gears, it's naturally holding on to lower gears longer, and then from a dead stop, floor it. Wow, okay. Lakas nga. I can feel that the traction control is kicking in to curb the power, because otherwise I can actually fishtail this truck. And yeah, you don't want to do that unless you're in a controlled environment. So let's see what happens if I engage manual mode. So to engage manual mode, you just nudge the shifter to the right, and whoops. Okay. So to downshift, you push it back, pull it back, and then to upshift, you push it forward. So here at third gear, we're at 3,000 RPM and around slightly below 60 kilometers per hour. So at a high RPM, let's see if it will downshift. No, it will not. It doesn't want to downshift at a too high engine speed. Or it feels that, moron, I've got enough engine braking already, right? So, okay. Notably, shifts are quite smooth, and you don't feel that shift shock when you're downshifting. Let's say from here. Okay, so to kill that shift shock, it naturally has to delay the shift until there's just enough torque to engage without overspinning the rear tire. Let's see what happens if I turn off the traction control. Okay. Wow. All right, so there's enough power here to actually cause some wheel spin if you're careless, or if you actually want to engage wheel spin, some rear oversteer here. So at first gear, let's see what happens if I make a hard left. Wow. Okay. So yeah, this transmission is game for a bit of fun. It will actually let you redline the engine if you're in the mood for it. I don't really recommend it. But if you want to have a little fun, you can do it with the torque. So engage the traction control again. Let's just go for a more relaxed cruise here around the neighborhood. Generally, there are no bad points with the cockpit. You get good visibility all around. Remember that this is more of a basic truck, so you don't get any advanced driving aids. You don't get lane keeping, you don't get blind spot assistance, so you have to set your mirrors just right so you don't get any nasty surprises. But fundamentally, it feels okay. It actually feels less ponderous than some older Japanese pickup trucks. So this one has just enough boost in the steering to give you a light feel without feeling over boosted. Like I said, the brakes feel strong and are easy to modulate, so it gives you a lot of confidence. And sorry, I'm just enjoying the. I'm kind of enjoying the powertrain right now, so I've got a bit of a heavy foot. For more eco driving, you should be able to get better than 10 kilometers to a liter with this truck. Right now, I'm at 10.9 liters per 100 kilometers. But note that I've been mostly driving this in the city, so it's not going to be as high as you would want it to be. Okay, one thing you will notice right away with the torque is that NVH is a little bit weak. So you're wearing it's wearing all-terrain tires, so some road rumble from the tire tread is expected. But when you rev the engine, when you step on the gas, there's this metallic noise. Can you hear it? Let's try it. Hear that? It sounds metallic and a bit unrefined. I'm not sure if that's the turbo working, because we noticed a while ago we showed where the turbo was. It's placed high up, so maybe it's not as muffled as it usually is on other pickup trucks. Now, we don't actually expect diesels to be, to sound like Lexus. Of course, it's a diesel, so we really expect that rumble. It's just that this one, it's a little more prominent than some of the more refined diesel pickup trucks out there. Maybe there's not as much insulation between the firewall and the engine as some of the more expensive rides. Still, for what this truck is meant to be, it's meant to be a workhorse or a service truck for businesses. You probably won't notice after a while, but you will notice that the sound quality from the 2-speaker system is bleh. So you've got 2 speakers at the back, and it's sounds like you're underwater. That's right. Yep. So your ears do not deceive you. It really sounds like you're underwater. So if you're gonna get this for personal use, the first upgrade would be to change up your speakers. We would probably get an amplifier. Just get a better stereo, better audio setup. So talking about safety features, I already said that you don't get advanced driving aids. You get ABS, you get a driver airbag, you get a front passenger airbag, but no side airbag, no curtain airbag, and that's it. Aside from the traction control, of course. So for a truck that's kind of basic like this, you really have to make sure that your driving skills are up there to prevent you from getting into an accident in the first place. So I actually like this kind of package because for me, I love simpler machines. They're easier to maintain, less things to break over the long term, and they really force you to brush up on your driving skills. Did I mention that they also sell a manual transmission version of this pickup? For those who are masochists about driving a truck in city traffic, they have a manual transmission version. It is something that I would seriously consider, since I'm not shy about that, because I'm cheap. And I wouldn't mind spending less for a pickup truck, even if it meant shifting for myself. Oh, seriously, I would. Overall, I think this is a competent pickup truck. Of course, it's not exceptional, but it has that feeling of being well made. I don't get any excess vibrations or noises into the cabin other than what's expected from the diesel engine out in front. And as a first pickup truck from MG, I think it gets them into the door. Well, it gets you into their door, into their showrooms if you've been looking for a pickup truck and you've been enticed by the value pricing that MG has been offering lately in their lineup. So there. The Torque is now available at MG dealerships nationwide. If you're looking for a back to basics, rear-wheel drive, mid-size, workhorse, do check it out. It has everything you need in a pickup truck and not much else.